Hi, Jeff Swartz, physical therapist, Mercy Health Run Clinic. So for the sideways step down, we can also do a version of this where we actually pull in a metronome. So you can either use a metronome and we can set this at half your normal cadence. So if your normal cadence is 160 steps per minute, we'll set this at 80. Or there are plenty of free apps out there. The one that I use here in the clinic is the Pro Metronome. It's free, it's easy to adjust, and all I do is hit the button. So during this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sideways step down at the beat of the metronome. And what we're going to do is make sure that everything that we talked about before is still in place. We're going to make sure that we have good vertical alignment and that knee is not collapsing inward and we're not dropping our hip. One of the things that Dana will often say is she'll see sassy hips, and that's where, again, where those hips are going side to side. So the next exercise that I'm going to demonstrate is a monster walk. Some people will call this a side-to-side shuffle, side-to-side step, but we're going to pick one of the bands. We've either got heavy, medium, or the light colored one is light. So we're going to pick the one that gives you the best technique. Don't automatically go to the heaviest one and sacrifice form. We can either place around the feet, which in my opinion is the most challenging. The less challenging is placing it at the ankles. And then the third easiest would be placing it at the knees. So when we're doing a monster walk, we're going to start with the feet pointed straight ahead, about shoulder width. When we look down at our knees, we want to make sure that our knees are pointed where our second toes are pointing. We don't want the knees collapsed in. We don't need you to be bow-legged. And we also don't want your knees far forward over the toes. You're going to be just in a slightly squatted position. And we're going to take small steps. We'll typically go 15 steps to the left, 15 steps to the right. As we're doing this, we're not taking super long strides. We're keeping it nice and tight with good alignment at the knees. Regardless of where you have the band, whether it's at the knees or the ankles or the feet, one common error that Dana and I will see in the clinic as we're doing this, we start to look like a penguin. So we want to make sure that our torso stays vertical. And when you feel this, it should be right in where your back pockets are in your shorts or your pants. So this is where you're going to feel it. The next exercise that I'll be demonstrating is a walking lunge. And it is going to be lunging forward. And as we're coming through, you'll notice where my arms are. They're not down at my sides. We're not like this, but we're going to lunge and kind of stick that landing. Your forward trunk is going to be slightly bent forward. And the purpose of that is to help engage the glutes. So if you're straight up and down, that's more quad and less glute. If you're here, it's a little bit more glute. As we're looking down at the leg, we want to make sure that it's in a vertical orientation, that the knee is not over in front of our toe, but it's also not collapsed in. And what we can do is we can walk 15 steps down, 15 steps back. If you can, use a mirror just for feedback, and you can do whatever number of repetitions to get you to fatigue. So the last exercise that I'll be demonstrating today is the split squat, which can be quite fatiguing, but also very beneficial. It talks about all of the key points that we looked at before. We want to make sure that everything stays vertical so that the knee is not collapsing in and my trunk is staying vertical. Now a slow controlled split squat will again kind of be reminiscent of a running form, and we're going slow and controlled. You're putting weight on the back leg, and on the toe, you want to have the toe pointed down. And then as it gets easier, and you're looking for more of a challenge, then we're going to go into a hop. And the hop will make it much more functional and running specific because when running, again, you're landing with 2.5 to 3 times body weight. Hope that information helped. We'll see you on the roads.